In the first two videos, we looked at how to respond to external claims made by the people of the book, who challenge our beliefs. In this video, we will look at the final section of this chapter, which focuses on the Battle of Uhud and the internal challenges Muslims faced. Muslims suffered a painful defeat in this battle against the leaders of Quraysh and their Meccan army. The battle took place 3 years after Hijrah, when Muslims escaped the persecution of Quraysh and emigrated from Mecca to Yathrib, later known as Medina. Yathrib was an agricultural city north of Mecca. Many of its people heard about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his message, and became Muslim before he arrived. This annoyed the leaders of Quraysh and prompted them to attack the Muslims. This is known as the Battle of Badr. This was the first major clash between Meccans and Muslims. Even though the Meccan army outnumbered the Muslims 1,000 to 313, they suffered a humiliating defeat. This sent shockwaves across Arabia and badly damaged Mecca's trade economy. So a year later, the leaders of Quraysh, still enraged, raised an even larger army of 3,000 men. Their main objective was to kill Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ending the religion of Islam. Prophet Muhammad and the Muslims of Medina got wind of Quraysh's plan and raised an army of 1,000 men. After much internal debate on where to fight, they decided to meet the Meccans at Mount Uhud. This was a strategic decision to keep the mountain range behind them as cover and protection. However, as the Muslim army approached Mount Uhud, 300 of them, who weren't convinced of the plan, decided to retreat to Medina, leaving only 700 to face the Meccan army. Given how the Meccan army was positioned, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, ordered the placement of 50 archers as cover for the 650 who were on the battlefield. Prophet Muhammad specifically ordered the archers not to leave their position under any circumstances, even if they were winning. As the battle progressed, it appeared the Muslims were advancing and might hand the Meccan army another major defeat. However, 40 of the 50 archers saw this and left their positions to collect the spoils of the battle, ignoring Prophet Muhammad's orders. Khalid ibn al-Walid from the Meccan side saw the archers leave and moved his troops around the battlefield, attacking the Muslims from behind. This forced the Muslims to retreat. The consequences of the archers' decision proved to be deadly. Many of the companions died, and some believed Prophet Muhammad himself was dead. It was later discovered that he had survived, but was badly wounded. This was a crushing loss for Muslims, and left many of them devastated and heartbroken over the loss of loved ones. Given their state of mind at the time, and how low their morale was, these verses were revealed to help them cope with what just happened, and uplift them spiritually and emotionally. Allah reminded them of the Battle of Badr. Indeed, Allah made you victorious at Badr when you were vastly outnumbered, so be mindful of Allah. Perhaps you will be grateful. It goes on to remind them of the thousands of angels that fought with them in Badr, and how victory comes from Allah. Allah would later reassure them after their defeat. وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Do not falter or grieve, for you will have the upper hand if you are true believers. If you have suffered injuries at Uhud, they suffered similarly at Badr. We alternate these days of victory and defeat among people so that Allah may reveal the true believers. Choose martyrs from among you, and Allah does not like the wrongdoers. Allah reminds them that Muslims will indeed be tested. Do you think you will enter paradise without Allah proving which of you truly struggled for His cause and patiently endured? The verses would later go on to explain why they were denied victory in Uhud, how their courage had weakened and some among them disobeyed the Prophet's command and chased after worldly gain, while others desired a heavenly reward. And even after all that, Allah still pardons those who disobeyed, as He is all-forgiving. He commands Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to pardon them as well. Ask Allah's forgiveness for them and not to marginalize them, but instead to bring them back into the group and consult them in matters. The verses then honor the companions who lost their lives in battle. Never think of those martyred in the cause of Allah as dead. In fact, they are alive with their Lord, well provided for. The chapter goes on to stress the importance of patience, perseverance, and being mindful of Allah whenever Allah tests you. and how nations came before them failed this very test and chose worldly gain over success and reward in the afterlife. The chapter ends with a verse that provides advice for success. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. O believers, patiently endure, persevere, stand on guard, and be mindful of Allah, so you may be successful. Help us create more videos by visiting our website today and contributing to our mission and project. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to access more videos and content.